1. See it right on camera, too.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Jayhawk Sports Report. Alongside Abby Stuke, I'm Bret.
Tonight we will cover all things KU athletics, including volleyball's recent hot streak and the Kansas Invitational hosted by KU Soccer. But first, we head to the gridiron, where the football team faced a bit of a setback.
That's right, Abby. After a win in the first week of the season, the Jayhawks were looking to break another losing streak by winning their first road game since 2009. However, Rice and their record-setting kicker had other plans. The game did not start in the Jayhawks' favor as Jake Heaps threw his first interception of the season on the Hawks' first drive of the game. His pass was picked off by Rice linebacker Michael Kutzler, who took it all the way to the end zone for the first score of the game. Both offenses fell silent until the second quarter when Heaps connected with Tony Pearson on a short pass. Pearson was able to blow by two defenders and scamper into the end zone for a 77-yard touchdown.
After 2 field goals from Rice, the score at halftime was 13-7, with Rice leading. The third quarter was rough for both offenses as both Rice and Kansas defenses held strong. However, the Jayhawks were able to capitalize on an interception by Isaiah Johnson by scoring on a 1-yard run by Jake Heaps to take the lead going into the fourth quarter.
This is where things got interesting, Abby. With the Rice defense stepping up and also some unfortunate drops, the Kansas offense became stagnant. This gave Rice a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. With 8 minutes left in the game, Rice kicker Chris Boswell, who won the game for Rice last year, kicked a 56-yard field goal to take the lead for the Owls, and the team never looked back. The team scored the sealing touchdown with 3.5 minutes left to play. The game ended with a score of 23-19, giving the Jayhawks their first loss of the season.
Despite the loss, running back James Sims was able to make some big moves. With his 109 yards of rushing, Sims was able to pass legend John Riggins and Gale Sayers for 5th all-time on the KU rushing list. He now has 2,685 yards rushing and will soon be looking to pass Clark Green, who has 2,754 yards.
Sims, however, is looking to do more than just move up the all-time rushing list. He wants to earn some wins for his team as well.
I'm fine with whatever they give me, I'm not going to complain about anything like that. I just want wins, and we all want wins here, so I'll be satisfied with whatever I get. Be the leading rusher in the Big 12, that's my number one goal. And be one of the top 5 rushers in the nation still.
The team will be looking to rack up those wins starting on Saturday when the team faces Louisiana Tech, which Coach Weiss thinks might be an underrated team led by a big defense.
This is a big play defense. They're leaders in the country on both sacks and tackles for loss. I think they have like 12 sacks, and they're way up there in tackles for loss, both categories. They live off of big plays.
One aspect of the game that the Jayhawks will be looking to improve will be the passing game. After 2 crucial drops against Rice, Coach Weiss knows that catching the football will play a large role against La Tech.
Part of those guys being positioned the way they are has to do with drops. Part of it has to do with separation. The 2 guys that we put up there first are the 2 guys that in practice regularly get open the best. Okay, and they happen to catch it pretty good too. We need to get better, and we can't win games scoring 14 points. That just isn't going to be good enough.
Coach Weiss knows that his team needs to improve, and he's thinking that this upcoming game may be just what they need.
But you have to go by what you see. And I see the same things you see, only I see them a lot worse than you do. As bad as you see him, I see him a lot worse than that. Because I'm watching every single player, studying on tape, every single player on every single play. And I think that right now we have to give Trent an opportunity to see if we can get any better there.
The team will have to redeem themselves this Saturday when they face Louisiana Tech at home. The game starts at 11 a.m. That wraps it up for football, but when we return, we'll catch up with volleyball and soccer. Stay tuned.
You thinking what I'm thinking? Yo, I'm gonna cut the gap. Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm going in. Integrity. Pass it on. Save the date. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. The Jayhawk volleyball team traveled to Madison, Wisconsin this weekend to the In-Towner Invitational. They were looking to snap a 2-game losing streak, which had them sitting only 1 game above 500. The team first took on the University of Milwaukee, and it was no challenge for the Hawks. They took the match 3-0, breaking the team's slight cold spell. Junior outside hitter Chelsea Albers was a standout in the game, who had 10 hits, 1 ace, and 5 blocks.
The next match of the weekend was the most anticipated, as the Jayhawks would face the number 25 ranked Wisconsin Badgers, and the game did not disappoint. The game went the distance of all 5 sets, with the Hawks coming back from 2-0 to win the match 3-2. This gave Wisconsin their first loss of the season and knocked them out of the top 25. Senior libero Brianne Riley recorded a season-high 28 digs, moving her closer to 8th all-time in the Big 12 for career digs. Although the Hawks were able to pick up the upset, they still had one more tough match against Bowling Green.
The final match of the weekend for Kansas was another close one, as Bowling Green was looking to pull an upset of their own. It was a very back-and-forth game, but the Jayhawks were able to pull out another victory in 5 sets. Brianne Riley was able to top her previous performance against Wisconsin, recording 31 digs. This performance helped the Jayhawks take home the top spot at the In-Towner Invitational. It also earned her other accolades as well.
Brianne Riley was named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week for her performance in the In-Towner Invitational, where she recorded a total of 71 digs. Riley is the second Jayhawk in as many weeks to win the award, as Caroline Jarmock took home the same accolade last week. The Jayhawks will be looking to continue this hot streak at home when the Kansas Invitational will be held here in Lawrence at Horace Athletic Center.
The women's soccer team faced many struggles this past weekend. With San Diego and San Francisco in town for the Kansas Invitational, the Jayhawks were unable to get the ball into the back of the net.
Friday night, the Jayhawks hosted the San Diego Toreros. The Hawks looked to break their losing streak, while the Toreros looked for their 5th win of the season. KU held on until senior Taylor Housley scored in the 21st minute for San Diego. Though they went into halftime down by 1, the Jayhawks outscored the Toreros 6-1 with shots on goal.
After a pep talk from Coach Francis, the Jayhawks looked to avenge the 1-0 score. The Jayhawks came out strong, but Housley would not be stopped, scoring once more in the 65th minute. The Jayhawks didn't give up just yet, and with a pass from senior Caroline Castor, Courtney Dickerson placed the ball in the back of the net. However, the goal was unable to avenge the 2-0 score, as Dickerson was called for offsides. The Jayhawks fall to San Diego 2-0.
With a day's rest, the Jayhawks felt energized and ready to go into the final match of the weekend against the Dons of San Francisco. Coming out strong in the first half, the Jayhawks held their ground until a strange turn of events. In the 38th minute, Catherine Woodrum took a corner kick and the ball bounced off the crossbar and was thought to have gone out of bounds. The players, as well as the crowd, thought wrong, as San Francisco's senior Kelsey Moe kicked the ball in to score the only goal of the game.
That goal only ignited the drive for the Jayhawks to push on. Though they battled hard to the bitter end, KU fell to the Dons 1-0. Soccer continues for the Jayhawks on Friday as they travel to take on South Dakota State at 6 p.m. They will return to Lawrence on Sunday to face Illinois State. When we come back, we will take to the greens and the courts with KU golf and tennis. Don't go away.
Now they're beating us on the boards out there, guys. This is your territory, Grimson. Do your job.
Grimson.
Hello?
Hi, honey. What? Now? All right. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too, sweetheart. Hey, it's my girl. You know, my daughter.
Love. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back. To the greens we go as the men's golf team, led by junior Stan Gauthier, took part in their fall opener in Fort Collins, Colorado. After the first day of the tournament, sophomore Jackson Foth scored an even par 70 in the first round of the Ram Master Invitational and a second round score of 75 to finish with a score of 145. This score has him placed 29th individually. Foth helped the team to win an 11th place two-round score of 585.
Sophomore Ben Wells scored 3 birdies as he finished first round with a 72 and a 74 in the second round to bring his final score for the first day to 146. Well, along with freshman Chase Hanna, scored a 146 to tie for 33rd place. Birdies were not uncommon that day as junior Logan Philly scored 4 birdies in the first round and ending with a 2-round score of 148. Wells' performance in the second day of play helped the team's placement improve as the tournament wrapped up today. He shot a 2 under on the day, while Philly shot 1 under. Their performances brought the Jayhawks 3 spots up, placing them 8th overall.
The women's golf team is off to a great start as well. Sophomore Yupaporn Kawimpakorn sits in second place individually as the team is second overall after the first 2 rounds in the Cardinal Cup on Monday with a score of 581. Junior Manami Lavinowicz is in 16th, tied at 148. Freshman Pornvipa Sakti and junior Michelle Woods are also tied at 149 for 20th place. Sophomore Mackenzie Thayer also finished strong and is currently tied for 52nd and is competing as an individual. The women's golf team concludes the Cardinal Cup today, and look for those results soon on KUathletics.com.
Now to the tennis courts, as the first invitational for the KU tennis team was not the only first that occurred this past weekend. Todd Chapman started off his inaugural season as head coach at Kansas with enthusiasm and high hopes. In Midland, Texas this past weekend, senior Claire Dreyer and sophomore Maria Jose Cardona were able to win their first round single match, but were unable to continue their streak in the second round.
Though the tough losses from Friday were still looming overhead, the Jayhawks set aside their losses and came back strong on Saturday. The effort and aggressiveness from the girls improved, but as coach Todd Chapman said, we had trouble finishing out matches. Jayhawk Maria Belen Ludena was able to make it the farthest on Saturday, advancing to the quarterfinals, but falling to Samantha Tuttleman of Penn State in a tiebreaker.
Dylan Wyndham and Paulina Los received a bye to the second round, but were defeated. Though they suffered losses this weekend, the Hawks learned and gained experience that will help them as they go on in their season. The Jayhawk tennis team also competed outside of the Invitational this past weekend for Intercollegiate Tennis Association standings. Maria Belen Ludena as well as Paulina Los took the 2 wins of the day. Dylan Wyndham was strong but fell in a tiebreaker, and Anastasia Trubica and Maria Jose Cardona were defeated as well. The Jayhawks will continue their season at the ITA All-American in Pacific Palisades, California on September 29th.
That will do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in to the first episode of KUJH's new political show, The Breakdown, starting on Friday at 11 a.m., as well as Good Morning KU every morning at 10. For Abby Stuke, I'm Bret Ivy. Have a wonderful evening.